What's up, mortgage coach community? Dave Savage sitting down with Wade Betz out of Dallas, Texas, right, Wade?
That's right, Dave.
Good. Well, thanks for making time, brother. I really enjoyed our last interview. This will be the first time I've interviewed you for the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel, but I interviewed you for your company a few weeks ago, and I just thought your story was too good, and the way you're using Mortgage Coach was too good not to share with the whole industry. You cool with that?
Of course.
All right. So I do have a little different venue, guys. I am with my wife, and we are staying in Healdsburg for a couple days. So that is a real background, and this will be my view for the next couple days. So sorry about that, everybody. But so Wade, for anyone who doesn't know you, tell us a little bit about your mortgage practice. Where exactly are you? What kind of production you're doing? And then we'll get into the how do you create a TCA in 5 minutes or less.
That sounds great. Yeah, so been in the business since 2006, had a great mentor that helped me get my foot in the door and provided a lot of guidance as I kind of worked my way through that organization.
Who was your mentor?
Marcus McHugh. Shout out to you, Marcus, if you're seeing this. Appreciate you, buddy, and everything you did for me.
Right on, right on. Who got you on mortgage?
Oh God, I think it was probably him actually. So when you get into the business, if you don't have a mentor, a true mentor, it's going to be very difficult to be, I think, successful long term. And so you need to have at least one, if not several, people that you look up to and value their guidance, and they need to hold you accountable for some of the excuses that you might have along the way. So it's just the way it goes. So Mortgage Coach, I think I've been using that, I want to say since like 2014, maybe. I don't remember exactly, but it's thousands and thousands of TCAs.
Yeah, no, well, I'm showing 2,827. So you are a Mortgage Coach Grandmaster. You looks like you've done 60 total cost analysis in the last 30 days. And what kind of production are you doing? Tell us a little bit about your team and your volume
right now. Somewhere in that ballpark. It varies, of course, but my goal is about 5 million a month. A good month for me will be 8 or 9 million. Slow month will be 3 to 4.
And how many families served is that?
Last year I served 171 families. Goal is 20 per month this year, and everything's on track. So looking good.
Good job. And what about team? What kind of a team do you have set up?
So I'm understaffed right now. I've got a team captain and then 1 LOA, and then I've got 2 dedicated processors that work on my files. I need to hire another front end person to help with some capacity issues that we're dealing with, admittedly.
Yeah. And where are you getting most of your business?
So I'm a firm believer that you need to nurture your past client database. So if you've been in the business any length of time, or even if you haven't, you really need to have really dialed in systems to stay in front of your past client database. And I've relatively recently signed up with the Art of Homeownership, which I think is going to take my past client business, to the next level. So I was already getting 60 and 70% of my closings every single year from my past clients. And I think that number just goes up with the Art of Homeownership platform.
Are you using any other technology like HomeBot, House Happy? Well, if you're Art of Homeownership, you're using both of those, but were you using HomeBot prior?
I was. Anyone that's not using HomeBot, I think, is really missing the boat, honestly. It's the single greatest thing you can do to nurture your database with valuable information that's customized to them.
Love it. So, guys, this is a mastermind. This is the Mortgage Coach Facebook group. If you have a question, put it down below. In a minute when Wade starts showing us his power user tricks and habits. We'll ask him questions. What are a couple of the most common strategies that you're using right now? How are you? I know you're creating a lot of total cost analysis. What are the most common TCAs that you're doing in the market right now?
So the most common strategy I'm using is that appraisal gap strategy, because we're having such strong price appreciation. Appraisals aren't always keeping up. So that's the one I'm using the most, the what ifs of it all. But also, you've got to have proposals put together for first-time home buyers. So I know you've asked me before, Dave, does every single family get a TCA? every first-time home buyer absolutely does. Right in the beginning, it's one of the first things that we do because they just don't know what all is included in buying a home. Not really. They might think they know, but they don't. Now, for my next home buyers or my clients that are just repeat clients, they're typically getting a TCA as part of the pre-approval. But those first-time home buyers, they have questions that they don't even know exist yet. So you got to get that out in the open and talk about it so that they can plan, because some of them might think they're mortgage ready, but they're not. And you got to start building that roadmap for success for them.
Do you do the rent versus own, or do you just, you're showing them loan amount, purchase price options? What are the most common strategies for a first-time home buyer for you?
I'll do rent versus own occasionally, not as much as I should if I'm being very transparent here. But I'll do it occasionally, and it's really an eye-opening experience every time you do it, because you can just kind of see your net worth is like dramatically different. Typically it's going to cost more to buy in the first year or two because of the upfront cost. But after a while, it gets like exponentially better for the homeowner because of price appreciation, and you're paying down the mortgage, all these things. So it just helps visualize for them how much different their net worth is going to be because of the decision to buy.
Well, I am looking forward to you doing a couple of those. So let's log in to Mortgage Coach. Let's show it on your screen. I wanna just kind of go through an actual TCA for just a couple minutes, and then I want you to create one from scratch. And that is a question. What percentage of your TCAs are you creating from the beginning, and what percentage do you have someone on your team do?
So I'll answer that question first. I would love for that answer to be that I've been able to delegate that out, but I personally do every single one of them. So every single client, it's pretty much the thing I do either at the very end of each day or at the very beginning of each day. That's when I've kind of had time blocked off to work on these. I'm putting those together, and you'll see if it's a purchase, it's very, very simple to do if you're using some of the strategy templates and things like that. I'll walk through a live one here. But if it's a refinance, it takes a little bit more time because you're really trying to customize it. I want to show people what it looks like before I put my team through the effort and expense of pre-approving a client for a refinance if it's not beneficial for them. Like, why go through all of that if the client doesn't know exactly how beneficial it may or may not be at that point? So on refinances, we're doing them custom every single time, whereas on a purchase, it's a lot easier to be shorthand with it and still be very accurate.
I want to call out a resource for anyone listening to this. Our new top playlist right now at the top of our YouTube channel is the Mortgage Coach Agent Advantage playlist. So these are top mortgage coaches that actually recorded 3 to 5 minute video for a realtor where they were explaining strategies powered by Mortgage Coach that would be valuable for agents to sell homes in today's market. And then we have this best of 2021. And then we also have this how do top producers use Mortgage Coach. So Wade, you will be in this playlist. And guys, I've interviewed a lot of loan officers on what they do and how they do it. So you can see it's a pretty good list. And Jeremy Forcier, he creates his own TCAs, so he does it that way. But I would say the majority of these folks, team members doing the original setup, and then the individual loan officer is creating it their own. And of course, if you don't have a team, you're doing it all. You are your team. Yeah. So let's share your screen and let's go through an actual TCA, and then let's watch you create one in 5 minutes or less.
Okay, so this is my screen. This is the example for the appraisal gap. Thankfully, I'm not having as many appraisals come in short, but they do happen, and sometimes pretty massively. So this is fairly similar to an issue that I'm dealing with right now, actually, where the client was buying a property with 20% down. So sales price 500,000, loan amount 400,000. This was a few weeks ago, so rates are different now, of course, and then cash to close. And so what I did was I showed this middle column to them when the property actually appraised for $450,000. So basically 10% below what the sales price was. that makes the loan to value 88.89%. And essentially what I did here was I had lender paid mortgage insurance as a way to structure this. So their interest rate stayed the exact same. That of course means that they have points associated with that same interest rate now for the mortgage insurance piece of this. So that's why there's a difference in their cash to close. And so what I also have done is showed them, instead of lender paid MI, what if we want to keep your cash to close the same, but have monthly mortgage insurance? And right now, with the way properties are appreciating, monthly MI has been my favorite strategy to use, because it's not likely that they have that policy for very long, because they'll be able to remove it based off of the appreciation, which of course years 2 through 5 has different rules. But most of the people that, when you're closing with private mortgage insurance, at least if it's monthly, you can tell them, you know, you're probably looking at 2 to 5 years worth of having that, depending on how the market appreciates and yada, yada, yada. So this is a way that I can show them that even though the property appraised low, essentially it shows what the difference to their out-of-pocket is and how their monthly payment is impacted. And it's really, really valuable, because essentially, even if the property doesn't appraise, that's one person's opinion of value, and the whole neighborhood is appreciating. So it's likely they're only going to need to own that property 2 or 3 years before the neighborhood catches up to where they paid for it. So I know it's not a great feeling paying over the appraisal for a property, but right now people are having to do that because of the inventory shortages across the country. So it's getting a little bit uncomfortable for people out there, and hopefully more inventory hits the market soon.
Yeah, and guys, this is one of the biggest topics at last week's Modern Real Estate Summit, where we had some of America's top realtors sharing, you know, what are their tips, what are their best practices in today's market, and in every market, people are paying over asking price. You know, some markets the appraisal gap is more prevalent than others, but in every market, a loan officer needs to do more than close a loan. They need to be able to create clarity and confidence for the family, so that they can make a winning offer. And the two best ways of doing that is, you know, this appraisal gap and a cost of waiting analysis, you know, letting a family know, hey, what would it look like if you didn't make a winning offer and you waited and rates went up and values went up? Like, what does that cost you? What is the cost of waiting? So is that a strategy you do very often, Wade?
I use it occasionally. This is my go-to right now, but these strategies, you know, come in and out of favor as the market kind of shifts. So I'll do a cost of waiting. I'll do, rent versus own type of a stuff as the situation dictates it, but not commonly. My go-to is the appraisal strategy that we just kind of went over right now.
Okay, great. Well, we got some folks watching this. We've got Darren Wade. We've got Tony. Tony asked if you use strategy templates. We'll get to that question in just a minute. So let's go down to we call it the advice engine here at Mortgage Coach. Let's go to the advice engine and look at how you're going to create a TCA in 5 minutes. And I'm literally going to time you. I mean, we're going to, I'm going to click this button in a minute. So go to the advice engine, and I do want to call out a few things here before you start creating one. Go to the settings tab real quick. If you're a mortgage coach, I want you to go to this right now, and you'll notice that he's created 2,837 TCAs. 1,482 of them have had videos put on it, and they've been viewed 9,280 times. You can see that in the upper right-hand corner. So just as a reminder, guys, one of the highest value points of Mortgage Coach is when you create this TCA, not only is the family member that you're presenting to seeing it, so are other family members. 3 to 5 more family members are looking at it. And sometimes the borrower is going back and re-looking at it. And that's value. Like, you're creating confidence and clarity that they can go back and reference. And you're creating confidence and clarity that can help all the other stakeholders that are part of this. The father-in-law that's loaning on the down money, the buddy at work that's a real estate expert that really wants them to use his lender.
Right.
So this is super important, super powerful. It looks like you're putting a video on about 50%. Is that about right?
Well, I've just noticed that I've been a member since 2010. So I think in the very beginning that video wasn't exactly an option back in the day.
So you do a video on most of them nowadays.
Dave, if you're not doing a video, you're missing a huge piece of the value add. I used to care what I looked like and where I was sitting and all this kind of stuff. None of that matters. You are the brand of your mortgage business. You need to get your face out there and explain this to clients. Okay. So essentially a video happens every single time, never an audio, just a video. Okay. You got to do the video.
Love that. So the only reason you're not at 100% is just because we didn't have that video featured for your first 1,000 or so TCAs.
Right, exactly.
All right. Well, let's go to the screen. Let's tell me when I can press go, and you're going to show us how you're going to do it in 5 minutes or less.
Yep, you can do it right now. You ready?
Okay, go everybody. Tick, tock, tick, tock.
Let's say.
I'm going to razz them a little bit, everybody. Mortgage Coach Rock. That was a very good title choice.
Exactly. Let's just do a hypothetical. So this is a strategy template. So I know that was earlier.
So there's the answer to one question. He uses strategy templates. Very smart.
I've got all of these built out. So essentially in here, I've got canned.
You're getting timed here, bro. So you might want to.
I got time. I've got all of the title policy premiums factored in here. So I can just plug and play. So essentially it defaults to a 5% down at this price point. Essentially I would go and price this interest rate off screen, which I did right before the call. So that would take all of, let's say 1 minute to do if you're really slow.
Sure. 1 minute, 1 minute, 4 minutes.
And then all you're doing is putting in the MI factor at this point. Oh, actually I priced this at 20% down. So there we go. So no MI, so back these out and we're all done.
Wait a minute.
Yep, that's it. Done.
So guys, forget about 5 minutes. Boom. Now let's give it some options because you're not done until you've shown some options. But I get your point. I get your point.
So if we're doing a second option, because right now with interest rates so low, one of the mistakes I think that people are making is that they're putting too much money in to their home and not having it invested at with terms that are better. So if you can earn a higher rate of return somewhere else in a vacuum, your retirement is better off earning 7% in the stock market while your interest rate's in the 2s or 3s for the mortgage. So I'd come in here and I'd show a different option with the 5% down. Essentially, then I'd reprice it to get the MI premium. So while that's running off screen, I will relabel this. So that's how I would probably do it. And then I'd come in here. Then you come and you adjust the points. And then you add the MI factor. Now we can add these back in.
And so guys, he's obviously killing it. I mean, we're debatably done. We're at 3 minutes. And he did not have the benefit of integration with the pricing engine, a closing corp. We have companies that have those integrations. This was totally manual, and we're at the 3 minute mark. And you're pretty much done. You've got a really basic TCA that you could add a video to. So I kicked this off. I might actually relabel it, how to create a TCA in 3 minutes or less. Everybody notice that he is using strategy templates. Go to the title screen. I'm gonna stop timing you because you completely killed the 5 minute challenge. I want you to go back to the advice engine, to the, click to the Mortgage Coach logo. I want you to notice, carry your mouse over strategy templates real quick. Strategy templates, yeah, right there, guys. So notice, super key. You can create a TCA in 1 minute or less. You can create a move up analysis. You can create a FHA versus conventional. You can see that he's doing a lot of different sales price TCAs, so that's why he's got it. And by the way, he created that with one program. You could do one where it's purchase options, and literally it's 3 different programs. and you could pull up the purchase options TCA. You have the 2 options, the 3 options, and the 4 options. And if you did that, you would be able to create a TCA still in 3 minutes or less by using strategy templates. Super important. Click on automated real quick. Just want to see what you're automating. My guess is it's HomeBot. Yep, there you go. Again, if you had a Optimal Blue integration, you would start there and then it would show up here. If you integrated with one of your CRMs, Jungo, Total Expert, you're a broker, Wade. So I think the only CRM that you can use that we're approved with or that integrates with us is Jungo.
Right.
What CRM do you use? Just curious.
Doesn't everyone have multiple CRMs now these days, Dave?
Yeah.
So I have Jungo as my legacy CRM, but I'm transitioning to the Daily AI, which is part of that article ownership platform.
I think there's an integration and process with those guys, but we do have an integration. Remember, guys, if you have questions, let me know. The only question I recall was strategy templates. Let's see. Rich said the build out of strategy templates was killer. Golden nugget right here. Right on, Rich. So Tony and Rich, we're going to be wrapping this up pretty quick. So let us know if you do have questions. So Wade, I mean, you're a leader. You've been doing this for a long time. You had go ahead and stop sharing the screen if you don't mind. You had a mentor, but I mean, you're a leader in the mortgage industry at this point. You know, doing that kind of volume, being the kind of leader you are. What advice do you have for loan officers that are like, should I use Mortgage Coach? Should I not use Mortgage Coach? Or should I add the video? Or should I not add the video? You know, give us your leadership message to anyone that's, you know, on the fence there.
So for sure, Mortgage Coach is one of my must-have pieces of technology in my tech stack. Must have it. And that's a pretty short list of must-haves in my opinion. I would definitely do it. I would definitely do that. Always do a video. And in fact, you should use video in your business just in general. So I use personally co-video. BombBomb's a great source, Loom, but you've got to do video. You are the brand. And essentially, you know, there's 3 methods of communication: the words that you say, the tone of your voice, and the body language. The words that you say only account for 7% of communication, which is why there's so much miscommunication with emails and text messages. So by adding a video, you hit all 3, and it helps connect you with the client better. Your conversion percentage will go up. Add the video to the TCA, hands down. And even though
does it save you time? Does it save you time?
Oh my God. I can articulate something verbally via a video so much faster than I could possibly hope to type it out. And then you, of course, can see when they've opened it and just engage with them. They can reply back with video. I'm a huge fan of video. I have it integrated to my Outlook. I almost always do a video email reply back. Very, very rarely do I ever do a written email. Very rarely. And when I do, it's either going to be a templated email, like a quick part or something like that, or it's going to be an actual written out one, which is, I can count on one hand how many of those per day that I send.
Love it, man. You are killing it. You're a great role model for the industry. For any loan officer listening to this, if you're not on the Mortgage Coach team, you can go to mortgagecoach.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a button to get a demo or a button to buy Mortgage Coach. Also, a link down below to get a demo and buy Mortgage Coach, mortgagecoach.com. What about you know, using our YouTube channel as a resource for getting advice, getting mentors, or our Facebook group? Are those resources that you leverage?
Oh my God. So it's my goal to watch 2 YouTube videos per week that you put out. I don't always hit that, but you got to sharpen your own sword. I don't care how successful you are. If you stop trying to grow and get better, your business will naturally atrophy and shrink. So if you want to even just maintain the status quo, you've got to sharpen your sword, and, you know, iron sharpens iron. Why would you not want to be around an environment or a group of people? Dave, I think it's like 34% of the top 1% of lenders in America use Mortgage Coach. Why would you not want to be in that company? So yes, hang out, participate, absorb it, and just get better each day.
I love it. Yeah, you're right. We're still under 50%. So come join the team. Your job will be easier, and you will close more loans. And here's the deal, guys. Mortgage Coach for the broker edition is only $120 a month. And If you're not using it, you're paying at least one loan a month. Would you say Mortgage Coach is helping you get an extra loan a month?
Easily. For every one person that says they don't like it and they want the fee sheet, which does happen, there's 99 that say this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, I'm regularly on the phone with people making the adjustments while they're on their side and the screen is moving around. I said, my tongue-in-cheek joke is that they get to see how the sausage is made. So it's really helpful for them to see what's happening, what all the real numbers are. And I always say it's conservatively accurate. So I'm never looking to sugarcoat anything. I want it to be conservatively accurate, not doom and gloom, but not sugarcoated either. And then even though I have all those strategy templates built out, if you go back and pause the video on that exact screen, you'll see that those were created in February. So I've used this system for 10 years. And it wasn't until I had some time with Tina to walk me through, and she showed that to me, and I'm like, so I've only relatively recently been doing that, and it is a game changer. So some of these templates and strategies that Dave has said, I've used them in the past, but I don't use them all the time. So if you can just, or I can just dig in and become an expert on some of those other pieces that I'm not doing, you just get better and better. So that's what it's all about. It's just, find something, master it, and move on to the next thing, master that, and go on up the ladder.
Yeah, thank you so much, Wade. And guys, if you do have questions or you have issues, support at mortgagecoach.com or within the software or within our website, there's a chat feature. So if you don't know how to create fee templates or strategy templates, just let our support team know. And the best way you get the fastest support with chat, but email support is great too. So Wade, I really appreciate you, brother. You are a great leader in the mortgage coach community. Thank you for making time for this video. Thank you for showing everybody how you use Mortgage Coach. Welcome to that playlist, and I look forward to our next interview.
Likewise, Dave. Thank you for having me.
Take care. Everybody, give us a like down below. Share this with your mortgage friends. And if you're not on the team, mortgagecoach.com. Take care, everybody.